All right, so you know how we're both fascinated by quantum computing? Well, there's been this new development that has everyone buzzing, Zuchongzhi 3.0.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. A Chinese quantum processor.
Exactly, and it's making some serious waves. We're going to break down what makes it so special.
Compared to, like, Google's Willow processor.
Exactly, and what it all means for the future.
Oh, well, pretty much everything, right?
Right.
It really is a big deal. I mean, seeing China emerge as a player in this field changes things.
Okay, so first, what exactly is this Zuchongzhi 3.0 thing?
So basically, it's a 105 qubit superconducting quantum processor
Okay,
developed by researchers at the University of Science and Technology of China.
gotcha.
And just to put that into perspective, that's like the same level as Google's Willow processor
Oh, wow.
in terms of qubit count, which is kind of the benchmark right now.
So this is top-tier, cutting-edge stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But there's more to it than just how many qubits it has, right?
Definitely, yeah.
What else makes this processor unique?
So the architecture is really interesting. Imagine like a 15 by 7 grid, okay?
Okay.
And each point on the grid is a qubit. These are connected by 182 couplers, which let them interact and do these complex calculations.
Okay, I'm following.
But here's the really cool part. They've used some advanced techniques like frequency tunable qubits.
Frequency tuning.
Yeah, and topological coupling.
Okay, those sound pretty complex, I gotta admit.
Yeah, maybe a bit. Think of frequency tunable qubits as being able to change their frequency so they can interact with specific other qubits, kind of like tuning a radio to a specific station.
Gotcha.
This gives researchers way more control over how the qubits work together. And then topological coupling,
Yeah.
that's a way of connecting them so they're more resistant to errors,
Oh, interesting.
which is a huge challenge in quantum computing.
That makes sense. So it's not just about having tons of qubits.
Right.
It's about how well they work together
Exactly.
and how reliable they are.
Yep, that's key.
Now, they also use something called flip-chip bonding to build this processor. What is that?
Oh, that's a really neat technique. Basically, they flip the chip with the qubits and bond it to another chip that has the control circuitry.
Okay.
This lets them pack everything in super tight and helps with performance and efficiency.
So it's like a super efficient way to wire it all up.
Yeah, pretty much.
So they packed a lot of innovation into this thing.
For sure.
But how well does it actually perform? Have they been running tests?
Oh, yeah, some serious tests. And the results are amazing. They use this benchmark test called random quantum circuit sampling,
Okay.
RCS for short. It's designed to push quantum computers to their limits.
Gotcha.
Zuchongzhi 3.0 completed RCS with 83 qubits over 32 cycles in just a few hundred seconds.
Wow. Okay.
Now, to put that into perspective, the world's fastest supercomputer, Frontier, would take an estimated 6.4 billion years to do the same thing.
6.4 billion years.
Yeah, it's like 10 to the power of 15 times slower. It's mind-boggling.
I can't even wrap my head around that kind of speed difference.
Right. It shows you what quantum advantage really means.
Yeah.
This isn't just a little bit faster, it's a whole other league.
Absolutely. It's on another level.
And if you look closer, the fidelity stats, which is how accurately the qubits work, are incredible.
Okay.
99.90% for single qubit gates, 99.62% for two qubit gates, and 99.18% readout fidelity. Plus, a 72 microsecond coherence time, which means the qubits can hold their state for that long.
All of that is important for building a reliable quantum computer, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely crucial.
Okay, so this is a huge step forward in quantum computing.
No doubt.
But how does it stack up against other processors like Google's Willow? They both have 105 qubits.
Right. They both use that similar 2D grid layout for their qubits. But Google says their Willow processor might be a little better in terms of coherence and gate fidelity.
Like, how much better are we talking?
They claim 99.86% for two qubit gates.
So it's pretty close then.
Yeah, it's a tight race. However, Zuchongzhi 3.0 tackled a bigger problem, an 83 qubit circuit compared to Willow's 67.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And remember, it's estimated to be 1,000,000 times faster than Google's older Sycamore processor on some tasks.
So Zuchongzhi is holding its own.
Oh yeah, it's a contender for sure.
But let's be real, even with these advancements, there's still this big issue.
Oh, absolutely.
Error correction.
You got it. That's the elephant in the room.
As these systems get bigger, even tiny errors can mess everything up.
Totally. It can snowball out of control.
So researchers are focused on managing these errors, right?
Yeah, they're laser focused on it. It's
Yeah.
one of the biggest hurdles before we have really practical quantum computers.
So how are they trying to tackle this error correction problem?
Well, there are a bunch of strategies. One is just making the qubits themselves better.
Okay.
Higher fidelity means fewer errors from the start. They're also developing what are called error correction codes.
What are those?
Basically, they're algorithms that detect and correct errors as they happen.
Oh, I see.
And then there's integrating the hardware and software to make the whole system more resilient.
So lots of work to do,
Tons of work.
but also lots of exciting progress.
Yeah, exactly. And it's still early days for quantum computing. We're going to have setbacks and challenges,
For sure.
but the potential payoff is huge.
Yeah.
Way too big to ignore.
So where do we go from here? I mean, what does Zuchongzhi 3.0 mean for the future of quantum computing?
It's hard to say for sure, but it's a big deal.
And what about fields like medicine, materials science, AI?
Oh, the possibilities are incredible.
Those are some big questions.
They are. It's what makes this whole field so fascinating. We're unlocking this whole new level of computing power.
We're going to have to dive deeper into those implications next time.
Oh, for sure. That's where it gets really interesting.
This is just the beginning of the quantum revolution.
I think you're right. We're just getting started. Yeah, it does feel like we're on the edge of something really big.
It's like a new space race, but instead of the moon, it's computational power.
Right. And the possibilities are, well, mind-boggling.
Okay, let's unpack some of that. Like, in medicine, how could quantum computing change healthcare?
Imagine designing new drugs and therapies, but with, like, perfect precision. That's impossible with regular computers. Quantum computers could simulate molecules in such detail.
Wow.
It could lead to drugs that are super targeted with fewer side effects. We could also model like complex biological systems to really understand diseases like cancer or Alzheimer's.
Yes, we're talking about potentially curing diseases that we can't cure now.
That's the hope, but we have to remember it's still early.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Lots more research needed.
But the potential is huge.
Definitely.
Now, I know you're really into material science.
Oh, yeah.
What kind of breakthroughs could we see there?
Oh, man, where do I even start? We could design completely new materials with properties we can only dream of now.
Like what?
Imagine superconductors that work at room temperature.
Okay.
That would mean incredibly efficient energy. Or ultra-strong, lightweight materials for aerospace.
It's like the only limit is our imagination.
In a lot of ways, yeah. And then there's AI. Quantum computers could help us develop algorithms that are way more powerful than anything we have now.
AI is already moving so fast.
I know, right?
How would this take it to another level?
Imagine AI that can solve problems that are just too hard for regular computers, like optimizing traffic flow in a huge city to cut down on congestion and pollution, or predicting climate change effects accurately so we can come up with good solutions.
Wow, okay.
It could unlock a whole new level of cognitive power for AI.
This all sounds amazing, but what about the downsides? I mean, this is powerful technology. There have to be risks.
Oh, for sure. With any new tech, we need to be aware of the potential negative consequences.
Like what?
Well, for example, quantum computing could be used to break the encryption that protects, our online stuff.
Our communications, financial transactions?
Exactly. That's a big security risk. And as AI gets more powerful, we need to be careful how we design it. We have to make sure it aligns with human values and doesn't become a threat.
So we need safeguards.
Absolutely. Open and honest discussions about ethics. And we need to develop responsible guidelines for how we use this technology.
So it's powerful, but we have to be careful.
It's a double-edged sword, for sure. But we can't ignore it.
But let's bring it back to Zuchongzhi 3.0. What does this development tell us about the global landscape for quantum computing?
I think it shows that China is a serious player in this field now. They're committed to pushing the boundaries. Their investment in research is paying off.
Some people are calling it a tech arms race.
Yeah, there's definitely competition. Quantum computing changes the game, and countries want to be the leaders.
I see.
But I think it's important to remember that collaboration is key, too.
Yeah.
We need to share knowledge and resources if we want to advance this tech responsibly.
So everyone benefits.
Exactly. It's not just about who gets there first. It's about how we use this tech to solve global problems and improve people's lives.
So it's a global effort.
Exactly. We're all in this together. And quantum computing has the potential to bring about so much positive change.
If we approach it the right way.
Right, with cooperation and ethical development.
Well, we've covered a lot today. My brain is feeling a bit overloaded, to be honest.
Haha, it is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But that's what makes this field so exciting.
We're on the frontier of something huge.
Absolutely. And it's full of possibilities we can't even imagine yet.
Yeah, Zuchongzhi 3.0 is just the latest chapter in this ongoing story.
It's an incredible story of science and discovery.
We talked about the processor, its performance, the potential impact on all these fields.
It's been a wild ride.
But there's one big question we haven't answered. What's next? What does the future hold for quantum computing?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's both exciting and, I don't know, kind of daunting to think about.
I know, right?
We're really at the edge of something extraordinary.
And it's impossible to predict where it will go.
But that's what makes it so captivating.
Yeah, the possibilities are limitless.
Who knows what breakthroughs we'll see in the coming years? Maybe the first fault-tolerant quantum computer. Or one that's more powerful than all the regular computers on Earth combined.
Maybe something we haven't even thought of yet.
Exactly. Something that changes an industry we haven't considered.
I think that's a good note to leave our listeners on.
Yeah, with a sense of wonder and anticipation for what's to come.
So to wrap things up, one final question for our listeners.
Okay, shoot.
Given how fast things are moving in quantum computing, what mind-blowing breakthrough do you think we might see in the next 5 years?
That's a question worth pondering. We're living in a time of incredible scientific advancements. It's really exciting to think about.
I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing. It does feel like we're entering a whole new era, doesn't it?
It really does.
Kind of like discovering a new continent, ready to be explored.
Oh, I love that analogy.
And who knows what we'll find as we go deeper into this uncharted territory.
Yeah, and Zuchongzhi 3.0 is like our ship for this expedition.
Stacked with all the latest tech, ready to take us on this journey.
It really is a testament to how clever humans are and our desire to push the limits of what we can do.
And the crazy part is we're just getting started.
Oh, yeah. There's so much more to discover.
Speaking of discoveries, I remember when I first learned about quantum computing,
Yeah.
I was blown away by this whole idea of superposition.
Oh, yeah.
It was like something out of science fiction.
I know. I had the same reaction. The fact that a qubit can be in multiple states at the same time,
Yeah,
it just broke my brain a little bit. It took me a while to even start to understand it.
it's a really mind-bending concept.
Yeah.
And it makes you realize, we're only beginning to understand the true nature of reality.
It's humbling, for sure,
It is.
but so exciting at the same time.
And I think this deep dive has shown that. We've talked about the architecture of Zuchongzhi 3.0,
Yeah.
its performance, the potential to change medicine, material science, AI.
We even talked about some of the risks, right?
Right, the ethical considerations.
Yeah.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. And I hope our listeners are starting to grasp the complexity and the possibilities of quantum computing.
I think so. I think they are.
As we wrap up, I want to leave everyone with one final thought.
Okay.
We talked about potential breakthroughs in the next 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the next 10, 20, even 50 years?
Yeah, wow.
What kind of world could quantum computing create?
That's a big question.
It is.
It's hard to even imagine what the world will look like then.
It's exciting and kind of scary to think about.
It is, but I think one thing's for sure.
Lensack.
Quantum computing has the power to completely change our reality.
How we live, how we work, how we interact with the world.
It's going to be transformative.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it all unfolds.
Me too.
And I hope our listeners are too.
To everyone out there, stay curious, keep your minds open, and get ready for a future that's going to be more amazing than we can even imagine right now.
Until next time, keep exploring.